I think a friend recommended Ken Wilber's book, and I started. And once I read it, it was just so he's so brilliant uh, that it really challenged my mind at the time. It's one of those things where you're like, oh, that's what I was trying to articulate and couldn't. That is all helpful to to understand myself, to evaluate myself as I'm interested in growth and development, and also to understand who I'm talking to, who I'm meeting in the world. You know, where are they coming from? Not as a way of condescending to them, like, oh, I'm higher than you, but to be able to communicate effectively, and also to relate compassionately to people. Because if someone's my daughter is 8 years old, and if I treat her like a 12-year-old, we're going to have tension. If I expect her to be 12 and she's 8, we're going to fight. Someone's not going to be happy, or we're both not going to be happy. But if I understand she's 8 and I accept her, she's 8 and she's going to be 9 and she's going to start to think 9-year-old thoughts, then it's such a relief. I know how to communicate with her as an 8-year-old. I hope so. An intellectual understanding is necessary to move into an embodied understanding. So first you've got to sort of intellectualize. You got to cognize it a little bit, and then you can start applying those principles, just like anything. Like, okay, it works that way, and then you practice and practice and practice until it becomes a habit. So to practice integral means that you need to take more and more perspectives. You need to start exercising your mind and your body and your emotional intelligence and your contemplative practice and your finances, and it's evaluating your psychograph, yourself in all of its dimensions. And if you look honestly, you say, okay, I'm a little deficient here. I'm doing all right there. I could do a little better. What else? How could I be more alive? How can I be happier? And so Integral really helps you look at all of those things. I teach yoga. So as a yoga teacher, I see lots of different types of people. And I remember as a young yoga teacher feeling like, you know, there are people who get it and people who don't get it. And if someone's not getting it, it's like so frustrated with them. Why are they not getting it? And with an integral understanding, I've started to relate to people where they are. And in that way, I've become a much more skillful teacher, where I can see the worldview that someone has. I can see not their world, I mean the worldview, but their personality, their just body type. All of those things are all sort of meshed together in an intuitive understanding, momentary, spontaneous understanding of who's in front of me. And having practiced integral and thought about it for a long time, it just naturally encounters a person in front of me in a loving, honest, simple way that is helpful. That where I can speak to them and they can understand me, and I can be there for what they need. I have been a part of a group for many years. It's kind of like a support group, a therapy group, but it's not any particular therapy. It's about being in the moment, being honest, open in the moment, and attempting to be as honest as you can. And I used to feel like this group was everything. If it consumed what I thought was important about life, and I still think it's incredibly important. But with an integral framework, it helped me to. Ken Wilber has this phrase: "You free something by limiting it," and it's very beautiful because when you think that your thing, your guru, your teaching, your method is the method that is going to fix everything in the world, then it's limited. It's broken. It's not going to work. But when you limit your method, when you limit your teacher, when you understand the limitations of that teaching, then you actually free it up to do what it's supposed to do. This happened spontaneously. About 5 years ago, I started writing songs for the first time in my life, and they were funny songs. Previously, I'd always tried to write songs, and they were like really serious, and I just couldn't bear it. They would come out all sappy, and I was like, but then I wrote this song that made fun of me, and that felt right. So I started, all of a sudden, all these songs started flooding out. And so I've been performing and writing, recording music for the last few years. And that's totally new to think about, like, that's really fun to think about all of these things, these deep thoughts about life, and try and distill them into a way, into a cute, funny 2-minute song that everybody can relate to. That's really hard. I like that puzzle.